everybody. Real quick before we dive into today's topic, I just wanted to take care of a few housekeeping things. I just wanted to let you guys all know that we are doing a webinar again with SendJim. SendJim. I feel like I maybe just kind of SendJim that. Anyway, they sponsor our podcast. They're a great company. We've done a webinar with them before. Daniel is the name of the gentleman.
Daniel Dixon. Yep.
Yeah, that we speak to when we do these webinars. And he is not afraid to ask the hard questions. So if you've ever even considered using something like SendJim, but you're like, I don't know if this will work for me. This sounds weird. I'm not sure. Register for that webinar and grill him. Ask him the questions, and he'll give you honest answers. So,
yeah, we're basically talking about how you can take your landscape business to the next level in this webinar. So it's gonna be an awesome one. SendJim's just a great tool.
Yeah, it's like anything else. It's just one more, tool in your arsenal. So if you ever even thought you wanted to maybe use it, sign up. The webinar is on February 18th.
Yep, Thursday, February 18th at 7 p.m. Central Time.
So get signed up. We'll have a link for that in the show notes. Like I said, just bring your questions. He's not afraid to answer them, so ask away. Yep. Any other housekeeping? Is that it?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. We wanted to talk about marketing plans today because inside our $1 Million Academy, we do what are called like Green Growth Accelerators. We have our Green Growth Method, and every now and again we take courses and we call them accelerators, but they're like a quick, condensed, but more information.
Yeah. We take a little deeper dive in some of the stuff we have in the courses.
Some of the topics we already have. It's kind of like supplemental to the courses, I guess, that are in there. And so we did one today, and it was all about marketing plans.
Marketing plans and marketing budget.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually had Laura Reale, who's our marketing coach inside the Academy and inside the Landscape Business Owners Facebook. She joined us and talked about marketing plans. And
Scott will do most of the talking. I actually wasn't in on this one, so that's why when I'm like, yes, we did this, but I'm like, don't know what I'm talking about. It's because I wasn't able to join them today. But Scott and Laura did this. And so
so it was a great little session today. And we talked about marketing plans, why you need them, and a marketing budget too. And, we got talking about marketing plans because many people, we don't feel they need a plan. They just kind of
hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, the problem is when you don't have a plan, you're just kind of throwing out things and trying this, trying that. And we see that a lot. Like, I feel like I see a lot and read about it a lot with EDM marketing.
Oh, sure.
Every door direct mail.
Yeah.
So people do one mail out, and they can do this too with SendJim. They'll do one mail out and then be like, well, I don't see results.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You have to have a plan.
It often takes, especially with something like that, it takes more than once. And you have, like, if you don't have a structured plan in place, I can easily see how you'd be like, oh, that's just garbage. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And like, I think people, the way I look at it is people think of like a business or a marketing plan like a business plan. People make business plans and never. A marketing plan is the way we have you set it up is keep it simple so you actually use it. So
if you make anything difficult, you'll never use it. Nothing that we ever do or promote will be difficult because we won't do it if it's difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not going to spend hours and hours trying to write all this stuff and never use it. So
that's silly.
We want to make a simple marketing. And, marketing plan is going to help you create focus on whatever you're trying to do. So whatever your goal is, if you want to, we'll say update your website this year, you want to plan out some Facebook ads, maybe some Google ads. By having a plan, you can actually go through and make sure you're keeping on track with it. So come July, when you're swamped with work, you can be like, I'm staying on pace. So that way, when it comes the end of July and August, when it tends to slow down, you're going to stay consistent because you've been following your marketing. The plan also will allow you to be proactive rather than as many times. Just in the same example, you get slow.
In the spring, you're like, oh, I'm not going to do any marketing. I'm so booked. And then you're like, oh, I got to scramble and get work because we've only got about a month's of work left.
Yeah. So,
I know this game. We played this game.
Oh, yeah. We have. But having a plan in place, you're starting marketing early. So you're staying on top of their minds, and you keep doing that throughout the season, and allows you to stay consistent with your marketing, and you will see results because from July, you shouldn't be slowing down. You should consistent because you've been marketing. I think it's very important. Another reason for creating marketing to talk about is being able to track where your leads are coming, where your customers are.
Well, that way you know what's working and what's not. Exactly. So then next year you can be like, okay, well, this worked, this didn't work.
Yeah, or if you're finding out that you spent the last 3 months doing I don't know, we'll just say Facebook ads, they're not working out for you. Okay, we need to either revamp what we're doing at the Facebook plans or do something else and not do the Facebook.
Right.
So if you have some way of tracking those numbers, how many leads are coming in, and the sources and everything, it allows you to.
Yeah.
And like we talked about too, it's going to be just you're going to be consistent. Then we actually kind of we kind of broke down the marketing plan into like having your goals, having your strategies, and your tactics. So
yeah, well, because if you have that big like 30,000 foot view of like, okay, I want to do this for the year, then you have to have something in place like how to get there. You can't like plan a vacation to Florida and then just never plan on how you're going to get there. Like, are you going to drive? Are you going to fly? Are you going to take a bus? Are you going to take a train? So I think that's where that kind of comes in.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're going to plan out your route, how you're going to get there, where you're going to stop and stay, if you stay along the night. So it's the same thing here. You need to plan out whatever your goal is. So it's going to Florida. Let's say the example. You know, then what route? How are you going to get there? You're going to take a plane. You're taking a car, whatever it is, and then your tactics. You know, what road you're going to take. You know, where you're going to stop to stay the night, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you got to break everything down, finer details. And then I also like to include who's responsible for this.
Even better, you know, I love accountability. Yeah. Well, because that way, if it's not getting done, you can go to the source. Like, okay, maybe there's a good reason why something didn't get done. But if you have that person assigned to that task, then they're responsible for making sure it gets done.
Yeah, and I use a good example earlier in the Green Growth Accelerator was I was talking to one of our past clients before, and they were going to have their employees take care of the Facebook post and, you know, have them just, you know, make the pictures and post them up to Facebook.
Okay.
So I said, well, okay, that's fine and dandy, but who's going to be accountable for it? Who's going to make sure they're doing that?
Right.
Because
even if you passed it off to them, who's going to ensure that it's getting done?
Yeah, because I just foresee, you know, the crew's going to get busy. It's getting late at night, and they're not going to want to take a picture.
Was there a system in place? Like, okay, well, we need to have X many posts per week. Like, it says there's some kind of minimum standard that you want to follow.
Yeah, so you have to think about everything, and then who's going to be responsible, and have a policy or procedure in place to it's getting done. So that was something I just foresaw an issue with them when they were doing it. And
well, I'll have to follow back up. I'd be interested to see. Oh, didn't even do it. Okay, I was like, I'd be interested to see how that panned out. So
didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved it. I think it's a great idea.
Good in theory.
Actually, Laura talked about how they actually give their team bonuses for turning in pictures and everything.
That's pretty awesome.
The next thing we talked about was just a budget. So, you know what you want to spend your money on. And if you've already done your overhead budget, which you should have already for this year, then you know how much money you have allotted for your marketing. So now you have a plan. Now you can take that budget and split up that money amongst that plan, however you need to see fit. So if you have established $10,000, you know, new website might cost you $1,000, $2,000 just to update it. So that's a good chunk away. Then
are you going to use the rest?
Yeah. So it's important to think about everything that you.
Well, I like that it gives you kind of like that big plan, like, okay, here's overall what I want to do. And then, like I said, you can chunk it down. You have those tactics and strategies like you talked about. Then that starts honing in on it a little bit. Then take that one extra step, like you said, assign some accountability, assign someone to be in charge of it. That, you know, it takes you all the way from that big 30,000 foot view all the way down to it actually.
Yeah, and there's so many different things you can do in marketing. Like we talked about the website, Facebook ads, Google. But your truck wraps or just putting your name on your truck and everything like that costs money. It's pretty expensive. So I would really recommend if that's something you're considering, go out and get some prices. You decide in July, I'm going to put some wraps on my truck. Well, those are pretty expensive. So
Did you have that in your budget?
Yeah.
Did you have enough money for it? Yeah.
You know, consider any events too. So if you're going to do any.
Are they doing trade shows? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. But if you sponsor any teams or anything like that, that could be part of this too. So just consider everything that you want to do, plan, and put it in your budget. But that's pretty much what we talked about today. There's so many different things. You can go down so many rabbit holes with marketing create a plan, get it set up, and then follow through with your budget.
Yeah, stick to it. When you set up a marketing plan, do you do it for the whole year all at once, or do you like to chunk it up into bits, like by quarter or by?
Well, I like to plan out the whole year. I like to see what I'm going to do, and then in our plan that we have in the academy, we actually break it down like daily, weekly, and monthly. So like every day we're doing some kind of social media,
right?
Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and then weekly you might be doing blog post updates or something like that.
Yeah, or even like YouTube, a yard sign, depending on how long your jobs take. Yeah, like a yard sign could be daily or weekly.
Yeah, YouTube. And then monthly, whatever you're doing monthly. I guess blog posts more monthly. But you need to start breaking things down a little bit more, and that's the one thing the academy to follow. And then the budget I like to have where I'm actually tracking. So we're setting I'm doing this much in January, or for our budget, and what we actually do is we track that way. If something happens to go over, we can.
Some months might be more spendy than others, especially like in the spring when you're really trying to drum stuff up.
Yeah. So, but then just make sure you're tracking numbers. Make sure you're tracking where you're leads. Always ask everybody where.
Yeah, how'd you hear about us?
Always,
because then you know where to push down the gas.
Yeah. Laura is saying, because they do a lot of her pond company.
Yeah, her and her husband own Aqua Reality.
Yeah.
They do ponds and stormwater.
Yeah.
I think.
Stormwater. Yeah. So they said they use a lot of Google ads. So I can't remember the name of it now. They use some kind of program that tracks when they calls in if it came from Google ads, which I thought was
it automatically does that, or do they have to ask them?
No,
well, that's cool.
It's like $45.
Yeah, we'll have to ask again.
Yeah, there's things out there that help kind of automate these. Put it in some kind of CRM, or even can't afford a CRM.
Put it in a spreadsheet if you have nothing else.
Yeah, we used to do for the longest time. We had lead sheets, so when somebody calls in,
like paper lead sheets.
We'd write it down,
and actual physical paper.
Yep, and then you could put it in a spreadsheet.
We owed.
Well, then you can put it in a spreadsheet, or CRM if you have it.
Yep.
You have to have some kind of way of tracking, and just things that makes it easier just to find the future.
Well, because things that you thought worked maybe didn't work as well as you thought, or maybe things that you didn't think worked well did if you actually track it. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Got anything else on that?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I just want to say again, don't forget to sign up for that Send Gym webinar, because I think 18th. February 18th, because that's going to be good.
Yep. We'll put the links in the comment section or show notes, and you'll be seeing it on Facebook and.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you have your marketing plan done, give us a thumbs up in the comments, let us know. Or if yours isn't done and you are getting tripped up on where to start, put a comment in there as well, and hopefully we can get you started. Sometimes just getting started is worse.
Yeah, if you need even further help, check out our academy. We have all this stuff done for you inside
the
academy.
Well, that's why we built this academy, is because people don't know what to do. So we're like, here, we'll help you. It's okay. We already learned it a long time ago. We will share.
All right.
Scott's got some questions for me.
Got some pod deck questions.
Go for it.
All right. What is something you hate but you wish you loved?
Broccoli. Because it's disgusting, but it's really good for you. And so I wish I liked to eat it, but I don't. It's nasty.
It's good.
It tastes like sweaty socks.
All right. Who or where would you haunt for a ghost?
Oh, I would 100% haunt you. You know this, right? If I go first, you are going to be haunted to the end. Yeah, that was like, I don't even know what, you probably should. I will haunt your ass. I definitely will.
Forever.
Yeah.
Never.
Forever. You will never be alone.
Great. All right. Would you rather have no eyebrows or an extra finger?
Probably the extra finger. Because you could probably hide that. Have you ever seen anybody with no eyebrows?
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe you could draw the eyebrows in these days. So I guess maybe if I could draw the eyebrows in, if I could get them tattooed on. So
it looks weird with people. It's not I get when people have
alopecia or somebody they can't help it.
Yeah, I get that, but then,
sometimes women just overpluck them and they're very tiny. That was the style a long time ago, not anymore.
And we had one guy we did a St. Walter for the fire department ago.
Did he shave his eyebrows?
He shaved his eyebrows. I mean, as kudos to him. And he
went all in.
He earned like a few $100s from people that were there to do it. So he did. So it was good.
Well, maybe now I want to change it to Briar, because it would be weird. It'd be really hard to find gloves if you had an extra finger. But it would be a conversation starter at parties. And so that one that one's kind of hard. So
where are you going?
Do I have to pick now? Because like my gut feeling was like, I'll just have an extra finger.
Switched on us.
That way I can just be entertaining. But maybe your children. But if I'm allowed to tattoo, I'd rather go. Then you could just pass along more tattoos on.
All right, guys. Thanks for
Sorry,
joining us.
was that the answer you wanted?
I
didn't really answer.
No, you didn't.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and check out that webinar.
Yep.
Have a great night.